Hello students. So students, in the previous class in this chapter, that is conservation of plants and animals, we were talking about the different kind of species, including that of the endemic species. What is the endemic species? Endemic species are those species where you can say where the species are limited to a particular area or particular region. That is called as the endemic species. We have seen that these species are very much means they are very much, there is very chances that they will get extinct if any climatic changes occur. So we have seen Asiatic lion or river Ganga's dolphins are there, students, and that of the Nilgiri Thar is there. So these are what wild mangoes are there. Oranges are also there. So these are what these are supposed to be the endemic species. Okay, these are the endemic species. Now the next one is the extinct species. Extinct species are those species which is not present, means it is disappears since they are not able to adjust themselves according to the changing climate. So you see that dinosaurs is there, dodo or pink-headed duck is there. These are some of the animals which are not present. They are not able to survive due to the climatic changes. Okay, so they are disappear. So we will include such kind of species into the extinct species. Next one is the endangered species. If we talk about the endangered species, you see that endangered species is that particular species which are at the boundary, you can say, of the extinction. It means if we will not conserve these plants and animals, they will be extinct soon. Okay, so there are a lot of animals, including that of a great Indian bustard is there, gharial is there, red sandalwood is there, Karnataka sapota is there. So these are the some of the plants and the animals which are the endangered species. Then we have seen the vulnerable species. Vulnerable and threatened species are those, basically they are vulnerable are means their population is reducing at a very fast rate, and they are more likely to be the endangered species. Okay, and in case of a threatened species also, there are disaster reduction of the population occur, and due to which they will become the endangered species. Examples are, students, the Himalayan blue sheep is there, Asiatic elephants are there, river Ganga dolphin is there. If we talk about the threatened species, so Bengal tiger is there, and king cobra, blue whale, these all are some of the examples of that of the threatened species. Okay, so we have seen all these different kind of species, and we have understood here one thing, that it is very important for us to conserve these species. Now let us try to understand. So we have started the chapter by understanding the term that is biodiversity. When we talk about the biodiversity, it means the different kind of a different diverse form of plants and animals living at a particular area, living on the earth, that is called as a biodiversity. So different habitats are there, different plants are there, different animals are there, but they all are living on the earth. This is the biodiversity. The question arises, what is the importance of biodiversity? What is the importance of a biodiversity? You see, student, when we talk about the importance, it is very important in order to create peace and harmony. Okay, so we can say that to maintain harmony, it is important in maintaining harmony. Okay, maintaining harmony with the nature. Now, each species, whether it is a small species or it is a big species, it plays a very important role, or it is very important for them to remain survive. Okay, so they all plays a very important contribution to the ecosystem. So all the species, whether species however small, contribute in balancing the ecosystem. Okay, in balancing the ecosystem. Okay, so we can say that it is important for every species, whether a small or a bigger, to be present here. So we can say that biodiversity boost ecosystem productivity. Okay, biodiversity boost ecosystem productivity. Also, we can say that it provides food, shelter, fuel, air, provides food, fuel, clean air, water and other products. I'll tell you, student, what does that mean. You see, basically the first point that I have written, that it is important in maintaining the harmony. Now you see, if all the plants and the animals, they are the part of the earth, so they should live on the earth. They should not be, their habitat should not be disturbed because of any of the activities. Okay, so it is very important to maintain the harmony between all the plants and the animals. So yes, we can say that is why the biodiversity is important. Now the second thing, that all the species, they are important because they are the part of their ecosystem. So they help in contributing to maintaining their ecosystem. Now we can say that it helps in boosting the ecosystem productivity. So every species on the earth, it plays an important role in their ecosystem. Now we will also say that they are important because they are the source of lot of things. They provide food, fuel, clean air, water, and even the other products that we get also from the biodiversity only. Okay, so we can say that richer the life of a biodiversity at a place, richer will be the or greater opportunity for the development also. Okay, so we can say that is the richer the diversity, of life at a place, greater is the opportunity. Greater is the opportunity for what? For medical discoveries, then economic development, then adaptation, to new challenges. I'll tell you students about that why I have written this, that richer the diversity, more will be the availability of the plant and animal at a place. There will be more chances of a medical discovery. We will be able to understand a lot of a thing from the different plants. So more discovery will be occur. You know that all the things that we used to discover, we used to get it either from the plant or the animal itself, from the nature itself. Okay. It will also help in making the person economically develop, as well as help in adapting to the new challenges. Okay. Such as that of the climatic change. Now let us see in point wise that what are the importance of that of the biodiversity. So we can write it here. So the first point is here, students, and that is the first one is of the plants. So if we talk about the plants, so basically plants purify air. It purify air and regulate the composition of atmosphere by recycling oxygen, which is vital for life. Now not only this, students, but they plays a very important role in various natural cycles. Okay, various natural cycles. So this is the first importance of that of a biodiversity. So when you look at it, student, you will find it that plants, you know that they are important because they help in purifying the air. We used to exhale the carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide will be inhaled, will be taken by that of the plants, and they take it to perform the process of photosynthesis. So all the carbon dioxide will be used by the plant itself. We can say not all one, but yeah, extra amount of a carbon dioxide which will going to increase the temperature, that will be used by that of the plant, and they releases oxygen. So more oxygen will be available if more plants will be there. So we can say that it helps in purifying the air. Okay, so air consisting of a lot of harmful gases, if more amount of oxygen will be there, so we can say that will be a much better place for the animals to survive there. So we can say that the plants are there, it help in purifying the air. Now, not only this, but it help in regulating the composition of the atmosphere. Okay, by recycling the oxygen. Obviously, the process of the photosynthesis that is occurring, so it help in regulating the composition. It means less amount of oxygen will be there if more amount of animals will be there and less amount of plants will be there. So if more planting will be there, so it help in increasing or it help in regulating the percentage of oxygen in that particular area. Now, not only this, but it plays a very important role in the various natural cycles. You see, carbon cycle is there, nitrogen cycle is there, oxygen cycle is there. So these are the cycle, or even the water cycle. So you see that these are the cycle, they are somehow connected to that of the plants. If we talk about the process of a transpiration plays a very important role in the water cycle. If we talk about in the nitrogen cycle, so there are the plants which consisting of a bacteria in it which help in performing the nitrogen cycle. So we can say that nitrogen cycle also plays a very important role in the nature, and it is performed by the plant itself. Nitrification, nitrogen fixation, that everything occur in the plant root nodules. Then the carbon cycle, which include the conversion of the carbon dioxide. Even in the oxygen cycle also you see that there also the oxygen will be used by the plants. So we can say that they used to play an important role, or they used to take part in all the kind of natural cycles. So this is why we can say that it is important. The other thing about the plant is that plants absorbs the greenhouse gases. Plants absorbs the greenhouse gases, it absorbs the greenhouse gases, and thus helps in checking global warming. Helps in checking global warming. You see students, you know that there are a lot of greenhouse gases are present, including methane is there. Carbon dioxide is the most, you can say, it is a kind of a greenhouse gas because it used to trap a lot of sunlight and causes the global warming. So obviously this carbon dioxide will be used by the plant to perform the process of photosynthesis. So less amount of carbon dioxide will be available. Now, if less amount of carbon dioxide will be available in the atmosphere, so the temperature will remain same, and ultimately this will help in checking the global warming. Checking it means in reducing the global warming. You all are knowing that it is the carbon dioxide, although methane is also there, water vapor is also there, but the most important gas which plays a very important role in the as a greenhouse gas in increasing the temperature, that is the carbon dioxide. And if this more plant will be there, so ultimately more consumption of carbon dioxide will be there, and it will help in maintaining the temperature, and it will help in reducing the chances of the global warming. Okay. Now the next one is, that is forest and grassland. Forest and grasslands protect landscapes. Protects landscapes. Protect landscapes against erosion. Nutrient loss, and landslides by binding the soil together. You see students, we know that this forest and grassland, so more amount, forest means what? A lot of trees at a larger area, that will be a forest only. Grassland also is a plain area consisting of a lot of grasses and herbs in it. Okay, so we will say that it is almost the same place where a more amount of plants or trees are present. Absolutely. So this forest and grassland, basically it helps against erosion. Now you see how erosion occur. Erosion occur when the rain, means a lot of rainwater will used to remove the upper surface of the soil. Okay, it means that the removal of the fertile layer of the soil, that will cause the erosion. So if more trees and herbs or plants will be there, so the reason that they used to, with the help of their roots, they used to bind the soil together. And when they have binded the soil together, so the fertile soil will remain present, will remain bounded with the roots of the plants only. And if more plants will be there, so all the roots will bind the soil together, and this will reduces the chances of the fertile soil to get sweep away or get replaced. Or replaced, it means means it will not going to removed. Okay, so soil erosion will be prevented due to the presence of more amount of plants and the trees. Nutrients, you see, we used to do the crop rotation. So the plants also help in providing the nutrients to the soil also. You see, leguminous plants, nitrogen fixation occur, due to which it help in making the soil rich in nitrogen. So it help in providing the nutrient to the soil also. Then landslide, obviously again the same thing. When the more trees will be there, it help in binding the root, and ultimately it will help in preventing the landslide. Okay. Next one is that is plants provides majority of food stuff. Okay, provides majority of our food stuff. Majority of our foodstuffs, including fruits, then nuts, cereals, then pulses, oils, and spices. So you know that why we used to grow plant. We used to grow so that we get a sufficient amount of food. Plants, they not only provide oxygen, but they also provide the food to us. So we can say that if a more diverse plants are there, it means more variety of plants or the trees are present at an area, we will get all the different kind of food stuffs that we want. That may include fruits, obviously fruits. Nuts are there, cereals, we get cereals from that of the plants itself. Pulses also, which is very important as it provide protein to us. Oils provide fat, so that is also very important, and the spices. So these are the food stuff that we get from the plant itself. The next point is that now plants or the forest, they are not only the sources of the food, but they are the sources of a lot of other things. So forests are sources of useful products such as timber, resin, gum, latex and medicines. Okay, forests are the source of useful products which will include timber, resins, gums, latex and medicine. You know that we get all the things from the forest. Okay, we know that a lot of medicine is prepared with the help of the plants only. So either it is a latex, it's a gum, it's a kind of a timber or a resin. These all will be provided from the plants itself, and it is because the forest is the richest source of such kind of a useful product. So this much we have discussed about the different types of plants or the forest and why they are important for us. So if at a particular area more amount of plants and more amount of trees will be available, or a different variety of trees or the plants will be available, we will get all these food stuff. Now you see students, if I am saying that India is a richer source or any of the country is having a good biodiversity, so they do not have to take the things from outside because they themselves are able to produce all the different kind of food stuffs, all the different kind of products. So ultimately it will make them economically developed. So they will start giving these food products, these useful products to the other countries, and it will help in the economical development. Medicinal discoveries, a lot of a thing that we get, including the medicines also, that we get from the plants itself. So we will say that it will also help in the medicinal development. Now we have understood here for the plants. Now let us try to understand that how animals are important for us and how the animals, different types of animals at a place will be very benefit for us or very useful for us. So we can say that animals also plays an important role in providing the food or the nutrient to us. So animals play an important role in the food chain. In the food chain. It means they are the sources of food such as milk, meat, honey. You see, students, a lot of different kind of animals, including cow, buffalo, sheep, camel, goat, they are a very good source of the milk. Now, there are some of the animals, including hen, or including hen is there, students, or that of the meat. So meat is provided by the animals like that of a hen or a goat. They used to provide meat. Honey like that of a honey bee. So we obtain honey, and this rearing of the honey is also known as the apiculture. So we get honey and we used to and you know that students, honey is not only used as a food product but it is also used for the medicine purpose also. So we can say that honey also we get from the animal, that is from the honey. Now why animals are important? The last point, it is that it provides means of pollination. Animals provides means of pollination and dispersal of seed. Dispersal of seeds for plants. You know that what is pollination, students? Basically pollination is what in which the transfer of the pollen grain from the male from the one flower to the stigma of the other flower. You all know that is what as a pollination, and you know that pollination is important for the formation of the seed. So it will help in the dispersal of the seed also from one place to the another, as well as it is important for the pollination. a lot of the pollen grains, they used to stick to the body of the animals, and when they used to go to the other flower or other plants, this pollen grain will stick to the other flower or other plants. So ultimately you can see that it helps in transfer of the pollen grain from one plant to that of the other plant. So that is why they are what? They are means for carrying or for conducting the pollination here. Here, dispersion of the seed also occur for the plants. It means the seed will also get dispersed from one place to the another place with the help of the animal. So they used to stick to the surface, to the feet or to the body, and ultimately will get transfer or will get dispersed into the other places also. So this is the importance of biodiversity.